very special evolutionary time, the electronic age. So our intuitive intelligence and wisdom is on peak. All the knowledge about science of religion is becoming very common and global through technology. Chakras, yoga, meditation, and many other modalities are becoming a common day thing that everyone knows about it. And these things were sacred at ancient times, and this knowledge was given to very few chosen ones. So we are very blessed to be born at this time, number one. And we have a capability, because of this high intelligence and wisdom, we have a capability to understand the deeper meaning of scriptures. And proof of globalization is my being here, a Hindu girl, and you're all okay with this. The unity and love I receive from all of you makes me feel very comfortable that I am at the right place here. Thank you all. So I chose a topic from the Daily Word, and this is what I learned coming here. So I got my book also, and it's so beautiful, the Daily Word. And I take time to comprehend and dwell in it. So from Daily Word booklet, today's word is potential, 29th September. It says, through the divine in me, I discover and develop my true spiritual potential. So they are talking about spiritual potential, not vocational or other potential. As I learn who I truly am, that we all urge to find why I'm here, all those questions. I embrace my Christ nature, the image of God that I am. I discover my true spiritual potential as I allow my divine faculties, such as imagination, faith, love, wisdom, understanding, strength, and many more, to express through my thoughts, words, and actions. And we are all endowed with these divine qualities. And we express through thoughts, words, and actions, unknowingly, unconsciously. And as we practice more of these Christ nature and divine qualities, we come more closer to God. And we act from Christ consciousness rather than ego consciousness. This is like practicing the presence of God. So there is a story. I love stories. So in a pasture, cow and their calves were grazing, and cow didn't care where the calf or calves are. But as soon as they saw the danger, they were aware where the calf is, and they will do their best to protect the calf, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you that in relation to cow and calf, who is God and who is us or you in relation to cow and calf? Anyone?
We're the calves.
We are the calves and God is the cow, which is true, which is we do know and that He is all protector and He saves us. But here there is a twist because of this word potential, and that we are trying to be more aware. We are the God in the sense, and calf is God. Calf is God, and we are us. We are you. And the purpose of this story is that we need to keep God in our awareness all through the day. Throughout, we are going through the life, doing our duties, but we'll keep God in our awareness. So when we have God in our awareness, we'll act from that God consciousness. So that is the twist in this story. So I have one more story. I'm a storyteller. So you are holding a cup of coffee, and someone comes along and bumps into you, making you spill coffee everywhere. Because there was coffee in your cup, had there been tea in your cup, you would have spilled tea. The point is, whatever is inside the cup is what spills out. Therefore, when life comes along and shakes you, which will happen to every one of us, whatever is inside you will come out. It's easy to fake it until you get rattled. So we have to ask ourselves, what's in our cup? Does anger, bitterness, harsh words, and reactions come out? Or when life gets tough, joy, gratefulness, peace, and tranquility comes out? So you choose. And that's where the first story ties in, that we have to be practicing the awareness of God qualities, divine qualities, potential God, these divine qualities in us throughout the day, so we can fill our cup with those things and not other things. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita means Song of the Spirit. Bhagwan, God, speaking to Arjuna. That is the whole scripture is about. Bhagwan is speaking to Arjuna, receptive devotee. That's the whole thing about. So I'll give you a little background about it in short. And so there were two brothers. One was blind and had 100 offsprings, and the other one had 5 offsprings. And these were the kings. They had the kingdom, and one had 5 and the other one had 100. The 5 are called Pandava, so their offsprings were called Pandav prince, and 100 offsprings were called Kauravas. It's just the way to understand easily. And they were raised and educated together. But the Arjuna, the receptive devotee, he was excellent in all the education, and none can match him. So jealousy and animosity grew among them between Pandavas and Kauravas, 5 Pandavas and 100 Kauravas. Oldest son of blind king, whose name is Duryodhana. Don't worry about the names, they are tough to understand and it's hard to speak. So Duryodhana resented the position of the oldest son of Pandu, Yudhishthira, because he was supposed to get the throne, and he resisted that and resented that. Not only that, he conspired Pandavas repeatedly for unsuccessful and stayed unsuccessful to destroy the Pandus. He did so many things for them, so totally annihilate them, totally. So in time, the dispute between them over the rulership of the kingdom reached a climax, and he conspired a game of dice. Duryodhana, the other king. And the oldest son of the Pandavas lost everything. He lost himself, his brothers, means when the dice game they were playing, he put his, okay, you have your brother, you can, because they were all very powerful, physically, mentally, everywhere. So he kept doing it, and they kept luring him, and he kept losing it. He lost himself, he lost his brothers, he lost their wife. So Duryodhana filched from Pandavas, their kingdom, and sent them to exile in the forest for 12 years. And to live a 13th year in disguise, unrecognized. And if in that 13th year anyone got recognized, they have to repeat the cycle again to stay in 12 years in the forest and 13th year. So anyway, thereafter, if they survived, they could return and lay claim to their lost kingdom if they survived 13 years. At the allotted time, the good Pandavas, having met all the conditions of their exile, returned and demanded their kingdom. But the Kauravas refused to part with a piece of land even as long and as broad as a needle, that we will not give you a space even that much. Then war became inevitable. And Krishna went and he tried to do everything, but nothing happened. I'm just going very short because I have to come to the other part. I can go on to tell the whole story. The first verse of Bhagavad Gita begins on the eve of this battle. In the end, it was victory for the Pandavas. The 5 brothers reigned nobly under the kinship of their eldest brother. So that's the result. I already told you. So there's no that kind of story. But now I'm going to go to the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. And since everyone had their allies and Duryodhana got immense army from Krishna and Arjuna got just Krishna himself. So they both went to him and they wanted his help because he's Bhagwan. So he said, you can choose between my immense army or me, and I take an oath that I will not raise any weapon. I will not use any weapon. So Arjuna takes Krishna and Duryodhana takes the whole army. And so blind king, because he was blind, he was of course disturbed what's going to happen. And that's what I'm just getting into the first verse, what's happening there. So he asked Sanjaya, like our Dr. Sanjaya from CNN, that's the name, same name. And Sanjaya, and he was given divine vision. Like now we have television, we can see distant things on TV. So he was given divine vision, so he can see and tell the blind king what is happening. So that is the only first verse that blind king says. On the holy plain of Kurukshetra, Dharamkshetra, Kurukshetra, when my offsprings and sons of Pandu had gathered together, eager for battle, what did they, O Sanjaya? That's it. So he's asking Sanjaya. So here I go just one verse, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. It's an electronic age, that there's a deeper meaning of scriptures. And what it is the blind king with his blind mind inquired through honest Sanjaya, impartial introspection. Were my offsprings, the Kurus, the wicked, and so who are the Kurus? 700 offspring. They are the wicked, impulsive, mental, and sense tendencies in us. It's going nowhere. That Kurukshetra and Dharamkshetra, I said those words. So Dharamkshetra is holy plain, which is our spine, and Kurukshetra is our body, our senses, material senses. That's what Kurukshetra and Dharamkshetra. And Sanjaya is impartial introspection. So when my offsprings of Kurus and wicked, impulsive, mental, and senses tendencies, and the sons of virtuous, he knew that Pandavas, the pure discriminative tendencies. So those 5 Pandavas are pure. Discriminative tendencies are in us. Gathered together on the Dharam Kshetra, holy plane of bodily field of activity, eager to battle for supremacy, what was the outcome? So this is our everyday thing, that it induces us that we need to do introspection every day. Who won today? Our spiritual tendencies or our 100 wicked tendencies? Like bad angels, who you feed, that gets bigger. So we don't even have to feed. They are just only 5, and those are 100. But those 5 are in our spine. That's why its body is called temple. And that's why we can strengthen them through, that is the purpose of meditation also. We can strengthen and our spine, those 5 chakras. And then when temptations in life comes, then we are able to face the temptations and things. So metaphorically, the question to be asked by spiritual seeker as he reviews daily events of his own righteous battlefront, which he seeks the victory of self-realization. Through honest introspection, he analyzes the deeds and assesses strength of offspring armies of his good and bad tendencies. Self-control versus self-indulgences. Discriminated intelligence opposed by mental sense inclination. Discriminative intelligence opposed by mental sense inclination. Spiritual resolve in meditation, consented by material resistance and physical restlessness. And divine soul consciousness against the ignorance and magnetic attraction of lower ego nature. So that is the first verse, and that is what it means. So I hope we all can do introspection and by meditation bring ourselves like a tortoise, bring all the things. Whenever he sees danger, he brings all those things. So we can bring all these senses inside, go inside our body and our spine, and at the Christ consciousness, so we can center there. Then all these senses will not bother us. If noise is coming outside, we are centered. Anything comes into life, we are ready to fight with that. And that is the difference. That is the purpose. So today, let's work toward filling our cup with gratitude, joy, words of affirmation, kindness, gentleness, and love for others. Thank you very much. Lots of love, peace, and joy.